Kolkata biryani is distinguished by its signature potato, delicate use of whole spices, and a subtler, more refined flavor that sets it apart from heavier, spicier biryanis. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to make it at home so you never have to settle for mediocre biryani ever again. We're going to make our own biryani masala so we can control the quality and the quantity of the spices that go into it. I'll add a link in the description with the detailed measurements so you can make this spice powder at home. Dry roasting the spices brings out their flavors and makes them even more intense and aromatic. A biryani is incomplete without caramelized onions, so let's start with that. Cook the onions in some oil and ghee, or only ghee if you want to be extra indulgent, on low heat till they are light brown in color. Don't rush this process because cooking it for a long time brings out the natural sweetness of the onions. This step is quite different from other biryanis. The onions form the base of the flavorful liquid that everything else is cooked in, allowing the sweet oniony flavors to permeate throughout the dish. The potato is essential in a Kolkata biryani, and we want them to be fork tender and perfumed with the oniony juices. Instead of a ginger garlic paste, I use ginger garlic juice to maintain the subtle flavors of this dish. The kera water, rose water, and saffron-infused milk adds this fragrant touch that is characteristic of a biryani. Cover the potatoes and cook them on low heat till they are 90% cooked. Now let's fish out the potatoes so that they don't overcook. And now it's time to cook the chicken. I use chicken on the bone for maximum flavor. You could use chicken thighs that are boneless, but I would cook them for a shorter period of time. I also made some gashes to ensure that the chicken is flavorful all the way through. Seasoning in stages is essential in this dish. While the chicken is cooking, let's make the rice. These whole spices echo the aroma of the biryani spice powder we made earlier. The rice is about 70% cooked at this stage. We don't want to cook it any longer right now. The chicken is 80% cooked, and now it's time to layer our biryani. But first, let's add the potatoes back in. Make sure all the ingredients are in one even layer. and then add a generous sprinkling of the spice powder we made earlier. Next, dot it with some thick Greek yogurt. If you're using thick Greek yogurt like I am, I would thin it out with a little bit of water. Now I'm layering the par-cooked rice on top of the chicken and the potatoes. I want a nice, even layer. Use a flat spatula to make sure you have an even coverage and a flat top. Let's add some more biryani spice powder on top of the rice. After all, a biryani is all about the rice. Next, mix the fragrant waters with the saffron milk and douse the rice with it. It adds the characteristic biryani color and flavor that we all know and love. Top it with some ghee for a delicious fragrance. Seal it well with foil and cook it on high heat for 10 minutes, low heat for 15 minutes, and then steam with the heat off for another 10 minutes. I use the other pan at the bottom to prevent the rice and meat from sticking to the bottom of the pan. Look at how fluffy and delicious the rice looks. The chicken is perfectly cooked and the potato is flavored through. This is exactly what a biryani should look like. I can't wait to dive in. I've made so many mutton biryanis, but I rarely make chicken biryani. So this time I made a special Calcutta style chicken biryani with lots of potatoes. So Ross, are you ready to try?
Absolutely.
Would you like a little bit of the potato?
Yes. Right, very exciting. Let's dive into the potato after the rice. Nice one.
What do you think?
Fantastic. Good as always. You've made a few different biryanis, and you know they're all slightly different. They all have their own unique flavor, and this one is also different. A lot of the biryani you get in the U.S. doesn't have the potato. Sometimes, God forbid, you see a vegetable biryani. Just avoid that if at all possible. This is really good. The chicken is delicious, and it's falling right off the bone, so I love that. And all kinds of flavor. The saffron comes through, and it's just a delight.
Yeah, and you know, the Calcutta biryani is very mild. So like, you know, a North Indian style biryani or a dum biryani or a Lucknowi biryani or even a Hyderabadi biryani, they're actually even more intensely spiced. Whereas the Calcutta biryani is all about the flavors of the chicken and the saffron and the kera water as well as the rose water. So it's more fragrant and and focused on the ingredients rather than on the spices. As you saw in the video, we added very little spice powder, so it's really all about the ingredients. From a process standpoint, this is a lot easier than making a Lucknowi biryani, so I would highly recommend you try this at home and let me know in the comments what you think. See you next week. If you like biryanis, check out my beef biryani recipe that has a more intense flavor profile. I know you'll love it.